Hey there, Sarah here, and I'm very excited for you to be joining me for Foundations. What you're seeing now is sort of a beginning of the evolution of Foundations and NextGEN Sovrin. So this video might change with time, but I figured having sort of a quick start video would be a good way to just get you started with what's here for now. Okay, so here we are. Welcome to Foundations, Truth, Trust, Choice. Here's the quick start video. Oh, here I am. And then over on this side is my little message to you that I update every week. I have to update that today, actually. There's some stuff that has passed by, but there's some messages that will probably be staying here for a while. So you can take a look at that and update yourself as to what's going on, what's coming soon, and maybe some opportunities coming up for you. So stay tuned with that. I will say that when it comes to um, more up to date information, more uh, something I'd be updating more often would be the Facebook group. So we scroll down. Here's where Foundations can really begin for you because this is the guide. This is the guide you're going to click on, and it's going to open up into a PDF document. You can read through it. And this is really getting you started on what you need to do, where you need to go. So you would click on that, and there's a couple things I do want to note real quick before we move on. One thing is in the guide, there's a section about outcomes, and that's something you're going to revisit throughout your time in Foundations because this is where you can sort of build an idea of like what could be possible. And then as you're moving through the material and you're having experiences and you're becoming more familiar, more acclimated to your skills and your abilities that are starting to show themselves. This is where you can revisit the outcome piece and see how has it changed, how has it evolved. Maybe it's moving along faster than you thought. Maybe it doesn't seem to be moving along at all, or maybe it's happening in ways that you didn't anticipate. And so that section will be really crucial when it comes to um, really being able to benchmark things and see the differences with time. There's also a page in there that is like a visual of like where to go next and sort of what your options are. And I think that's a great page that I personally would, if I was looking at the guide, would be drawn to because it sort of gives you like a quick visual of all the things you have available to you. There's even links that can, when you press it, it takes you where on the page it's available here in Foundations. Okay, so there's the Foundations guide. From here, we're moving to the quick links. We have the Foundations guide, which we just visited, Intro to Sovereign Skills. So those are all the guides related to the sovereign skills. We'll see that in just a second. Exercises and experiences section, the 21-day challenge section, the Facebook group section, and monthly Zoom call. So when we go down, here's where we get to see the sovereign skills guides. Again, click on those. You can read through the PDF. They're going to be giving you the intellectual information that I want to pass along at this time for Foundations level. And I will be honest that Foundations is really focused on two things. One is orientation, which is attention and awareness. This is really building a foundation, hence Foundations, a base level that is basically reframing the new worlds that you're going to be experiencing. This is more interoception. This is paying attention to emotions, sensations, stuff that maybe you've ignored for a very long time, stuff that maybe you've become aware of that has dysfunction. Um, this stuff is gold. This stuff is the information. So attention and awareness is the orientation piece. And then we want to focus on psychic. For me in my journey, psychic was the big holy shit stuff that like plowed my way for a year into wanting to know the truth of psychic ability for myself. I will say at the jumpstart, I had a spiritual awakening that really opened me up to the possibility of this stuff and really, I think, kickstarted this insatiable curiosity. But let me just say that that curiosity was reignited with plenty of experiences where I had psychic stuff happening, but it wasn't completely that 100% accurate that I was looking for, or I kept calling it off as coincidence, you know. But once you have enough accumulated information, there's kind of this point where you go, am I like kidding myself right now? Like, I need to be honest with myself. But then there might be that one thing. And for me, there was that one piece of information I got in a reading that was this stuff is real. But that also took being with people and doing readings with people, which is what integration, the next phase, is really honing in on. So, are you going to have that aha, oh my God, psychic is real, I can do it stuff? It is possible because meditation allows for these kinds of things to happen. That's what led me through most of my psychic development journey in that first year. So, absolutely possible. And that's really the two things I want you to focus on. We also have information about intuition just to get you started. We also have information about higher self alignment. Of course, these are the pillars, these are the things we got to learn about. But we're really going to focus on attention and awareness and psychic with our journey here. Okay. These two things are going to be more oriented towards integration because these are more subtle things. Okay. We want big, holy crap shit, right? That's what these two things are going to bring and what's going to get you catapulted into integration. From here, we have the exercises and experiences which are listed in the guides. And for each section, I've added the guide back, but also here are each of the exercises. So you click on it, it expands and it tells you what to do. A lot of these are meditations, but they're also sometimes they're just exercises to sit and journal and think. Some of them, more. So we also have that for the psychic session. For the intuition section, we do a little bit of somatic work because in intuition, we're really focusing on. I'm talking too much. We're focusing on emotions and sensation of the body. Okay. More about that in the intuition guide. And then the higher self merging. Higher self alignment is much more intellectual, and we can be more reflective and journaling with this stuff. But there's also strategy involved with higher self alignment that we can sort of capture in time, but we can also anticipate. So higher self alignment, metaphysical because we're making things. Alchemy is involved. But higher self alignment is more of an intellectual, critical thinking piece, which is more of my kind of realm of things. Then the next section, I have it colored differently so that you can notice. And that way, when you're doing the 21-day challenge, you're scrolling right down to this color because this is keeping you in line with the week you're on in the challenge and getting to the next prompt that you have for your next day. Okay. And so week 1, attention and awareness. Week 2, exploring psychic. Week 3, emotion and purpose. These are kind of merging intuition and higher self. Again, I want you to focus on reorientation with attention and awareness and be able to start getting some experiences with psychic so you can get excited about it and maybe have a couple of times where you receive psychic information, but you're going to say, oh, it's a coincidence. Oh, it wasn't close enough. Don't worry. That's part of the work. And then final challenge prompts. And that concludes the 21-day challenge. Here's information about the Facebook group. As soon as you join Foundations, you should be getting a invitation to your email. That's where you will be invited to a Facebook group and where you can join. Okay? If you don't get that invitation, that means I messed up and you can go right over here, no whole Hank, and fill out the form. Okay? Then we also have monthly Zoom calls every month, every Thursday, first Thursday of the month. I am doing a call with you guys where we're going over some piece of information. This is a time to interact. This is a time to do an exercise together. This is a time to do some learning together. This is a time to talk about the crazy shit that's going on in the world and how we use our metaphysical abilities, skills to kind of make sense of what's going on in a bigger world, universal laws kind of way. because our rules become different than the real world rules. But there's also things we can take away to really orient ourselves in our inner sovereignty with these tools that we are getting on board. Okay. And then, you know what? Sometimes the things that I do aren't what people need. And I totally get that. And I need you to tell me that. And so at the very end of the page, I have a lovely little form for you to fill out so you can say, "Hey, Sarah, I got an idea." And I'll be like, "Oh, great. Tell me what your idea is." And you're going to tell me right here. You can write it out. Um, Doing it this way allows me to have one place that comes in. I know what it looks like when I get the email. And then if people are sending me message on Facebook or sending me emails or that are outside of the form, then you're going to get lost in the mix. And I can't have that when you guys are giving me suggestions. So please use that form. All right, there it is. That's my quick video. That's never a quick video. Again, if you have suggestions, fill out that form. If you don't get that invite for Facebook, send that form. And look out for updates on what's coming soon, changes that are coming right here in this section. For February, I'll probably be putting a lot of my effort and attention in getting the podcast going, but also really trying to get integration into place because my goal is March. We'll see for that to launch. All right. All right. Have a good time. Let me know how it goes. Have any questions? Fill out that form.